Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm very excited to do this video for you. We are going to be exploring the eclipse energy, this 2026 February eclipse portal that we are in, that is truly ushering us into this fire horse year, this fire horse energy. We're going to be talking about what you need to know about what you need to know about the eclipse, why this is such an important portal, perhaps the most important one of the entire year, how to support yourself through this, the do's, the don'ts, and I will be offering a very special card pull at the end of this video. So stick around, and it will be a pick a card, almost like a choose your own adventure for the next couple weeks ahead as we move through this intense eclipse energy. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Christina. I offer a lot of different ways to receive support on your awakening journey. I have my one-to-one soul readings in the Akashic Records. These allow you to find greater clarity on your path, your soul journey. They dive deep into everything that you need to know about your soul and the journey that your soul has chosen here in this lifetime. I also offer one-to-one deep dive soul coaching. This is for you if you're wanting to create big change in your life, if you're knowing that there is more out there for you, but you're feeling stuck, there's resistance showing up, you don't know how to move through and receive what it is that you desire. We go deep in my one-to-one deep dive soul coaching. So let's dive in, because I have quite a few important things that I'm really excited to explain to you that really came through from the Akashic Records yesterday when I went into the records. Important pieces that you need to know all around this eclipse portal. Why is this so important? This eclipse portal is ushering us into the fire horse energy. There are so many different cosmic pieces going on right now in the energy, and you most likely have been feeling it. And we've been hearing about how 2025 was the year of the snake, 2026 is the year of the fire horse. And this eclipse is really opening, I really see it as like opening up into what is going to be this energy all year. And, one thing that's really been coming through so much in the Akashic Records as a way to support yourself is obviously nervous system support. Because, and especially in this eclipse portal, but just in general this year, fire horse energy, bigger energy, there's a lot of catalyst pieces that are showing up, because on a greater scale and a deeper level, the collective is awakening in such a mass way right now. And how do we awaken? We have contrast. What is contrast? Pain, discomfort, pieces that we have to look at where we're playing safe, where we are comfortable, and things have to move, things have to shift. The contrast has to occur in order for us to awaken and begin to expand into a new energy. And so this year, there's a lot of catalyst pieces that will be showing up, and supporting your nervous system is so, so, so important. I want to speak to how you might be feeling the impact of this eclipse energy already. I know that I definitely have been. You might be having a hard time sleeping at night. I've been waking up every night, multiple times a night, sometimes for extended periods. And also be aware, like, if you are having a hard time sleeping, part of what can also make the experience of not being able to sleep worse is the anxiety that can come from not being able to sleep. And so be aware of how you're holding yourself in that process. You should be able to get better sleep. Like, if you're struggling with it, you should be able to get better sleep post this eclipse. So really let yourself ride the wave a little bit, surrender to the process. And we're going to talk about that more to come. But you might be having difficulty sleeping. You might be feeling more anxious. I've noticed that my energy has felt quite ungrounded. It's harder to ground the energy because the collective energy is so much more intense. Okay. That's why nervous system support is so important. You might be noticing a lot more emotional triggers, like you're getting hit by waves of emotions that feel quite intense, or there's more of like a really intense up and down emotional roller coaster experience. These are different pieces that show up when energy is bigger. Our system is going to be impacted by that. So, really having grace for our physical body, for our vessel, as we go through these intense periods of where the energy can be quite intense, because our physical body always is trying to recalibrate with that energy. And it reminds me almost, I went to Mount Shasta in the summer. I did a YouTube on that. Highly recommend going and watching that YouTube, because I really shared so many important codes that I received from that solo trip. One of the things that I noticed when I went to Mount Shasta was the energy felt so intense when I first got there. My anxiety was so high. I couldn't catch my breath. My heart rate was up. And, I was just having a hard time grounding. And this can actually be the case when we are experiencing higher frequency energy and our body is trying to adapt to that. And that's sort of what I've been feeling in a more low-key way over the last few days, especially, is my system feels more ungrounded, more anxious, a higher vibration, almost like it's trying to adapt to the intensity of the collective energy. So this is why having really important grounding practices, your energy, it needs to cycle through, and we cycle through bringing the energy down, rooting it down, rooting into the body. So anything that you can be doing in your body is so, so, so important. The embodiment piece is so important, right? We don't ascend somewhere else. We ascend through the body. So just keeping that in mind in terms of how you're supporting yourself right now. Okay, I want to speak to how I have been sensing and feeling into the energy that's showing up with this portal. Eclipses are meant to rock things. They're meant to shake things up. Sometimes the energy can feel more chaotic. Sometimes there can be more distortion. But truly, the way I see it is that eclipses are meant to help illuminate pieces that either are, one, working well for you, and we're going to talk about this more, or two, not working, that are not in alignment. And part of what the eclipse is meant to do, if you're feeling that shake up, I'm getting the vision of, like, I used to, as a kid, put rocks into the tumblers and it would shake them all up and then it would polish them. If you're feeling that shake up, it is very intentional. This energy that's showing up for you, where you're feeling the shake up, there are some pieces you need to be seeing with that. And perhaps something needs to go, something needs to be let go of. Perhaps something needs to be edited, revised, polished. Perhaps there needs to be some changes going on. And the eclipse is really going to bring to the surface and show you and illuminate for you where you are playing safe, where you are staying comfortable, and where you are allowing your ego to try to control things versus allowing your soul to guide you. Okay, so the eclipse is going to accentuate and intensify that which is in alignment and that which is not. And so the things that are in alignment, you might notice more of an energy showing up in terms of it feels open, it feels more expansive. The things that are in alignment, you might find that there are more opportunities coming through, right? Because it is more open. You might find it feels smoother, like things are slotting into place with not a lot of effort. Those are all key pieces to look at in terms of what is in alignment for you. And you'll be able to tell if you tap into how things feel in your body, how things feel in your energy. The things that are not in alignment, you're going to notice. This is going to be made very obvious to you. It's going to feel heavier. It's going to feel denser. And I say it's going to feel more because that which already was not in alignment, it's going to be accentuated. It's going to be intensified during this 2-week window between the new moon and the full moon. And, the things that feel heavy, that feel dense, that are sticky, like you're stuck in a hamster wheel, stuck in a cycle that you can't get out of, you're going to notice it's like this clunky energy that doesn't move. I'm getting this vision of like a train that's not leaving the station. And you're like, okay, come on, what's going on here? The ego loves timelines. And if it is not moving, that is something for you to look at. If things are not moving with that piece, that is something for you to get curious with. And I've got some great prompts that I'm going to provide before we do the card pull, where you can be sitting with, what is the energy showing up for me right now? And what can I be doing with this? And in terms of the pieces that aren't in alignment, this can be a relationship, it can be a career, a job, it can be maybe a home that you live in, it can be romantic or platonic relationships. It can even be a way of being that no longer aligns with who you're becoming, belief system that you used to have that is crumbling, patterns, relational patterns, ways that you have shown up in relationship that are ready to be shed. So the things that are misaligned, that are not in alignment, that are becoming very obvious to you in this 2-week period, you're going to be asked to shed, release, or really shift and change those pieces. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little list of the things not to do and the things to do during an eclipse. And this is so important. When you can practice and deepen into these pieces of what to do, so the check mark, what not to do, the X, this can be a really helpful guide in how to navigate this energy of the eclipse with greater trust and with greater ease and flow. Yes, the energy is going to be intense, but when we know the different pieces, how to show up in our lives with that energy, it becomes so much more easier to navigate. So here are the things that you should be doing in this eclipse portal: reflecting, creating space to feel, to observe, getting curious with what is showing up, practicing patience, so much easier said than done, surrendering to what is showing up, and keeping in mind that surrendering is not defeat. Surrender is actually a very deep embodiment of trust. So trusting that what is showing up is for you, for your soul path, whether it feels comfortable or not. And taking the pressure off of needing to know what you have to do right now. Okay. And we're going to go into what not to do, because one of the most important things that you should not be doing in an eclipse portal is making big decisions. Because the energy of the eclipse can be so much more chaotic, it can be so much more intense. The energy can be distorted, meaning you can't quite see clearly yet. There's often a lot of clarity after the eclipse closes out, but during an eclipse, it can be quite distorted. There's a lot of shadow that's showing up. There can be a lot of fear that's showing up. And when we're in a lot of fear, that distorts our ability to be able to be grounded in clarity, to be grounded in the truth. And so my rule of thumb for myself, and I highly recommend this, is do not make big decisions during an eclipse window. Do not be hasty. So not trying to do things quickly or figure something out quickly. Notice where your ego is maybe sometimes going to this place of, I need to know right now, I need to do this right now. And can you slow down and ground the energy? And it's making me think of this also another rule of thumb, this agreement that I have with my girlfriend, Tess, if you're watching this. She always reminds me, Christina, you wait 24 hours. And so I'm going to give this to you as a great rule of thumb. I would actually say wait 2 weeks with the eclipse window, but my rule of thumb just in life in general is wait 24 hours. When I get the idea to do something, and now I've come to really be able to see when my ego shows up and is like, do it now. That's always my cue to not do it now, to slow down and wait 24 hours. So other things that you should not be doing during the eclipse window is attaching to an outcome. You're often not going to receive a whole lot of clarity during an eclipse. And when we're attached to an outcome, there's a part of us that's desiring, that's needing clarity, that's needing to be able to see the truth of that piece, or needing an answer. And we're going to get nowhere with that. And you'll probably end up spinning your wheels. So you should not be trying to control what is showing up as well. Back to that piece of observing and just watching and seeing what is here is so important, and not trying to know the answers. And so I know that maybe a part of you is probably thinking, well, that's great, Christina. What am I supposed to do? Really, it's about, slowing down, creating space, allowing yourself to, if you can, practice the patience of just being with what is here right now, and getting curious, observing, and letting yourself just be with what is here. So here I'm going to share now some reflective questions that can be helping you during this eclipse portal. And I would recommend coming back to these questions. I would also recommend writing them down so you can be looking at them almost daily. It could really help to look at these questions daily to help ground you into what is showing up. 1, what isn't working in my life right now? 2, what am I trying to force? 3, where is alignment present in my life? So where is it showing up? And 4, how might this want to open and expand more? So with those alignment pieces, how might it want to open and expand more? Okay, my friends, that's the teaching portion of the eclipse. Now we are going to pull some cards and see what wants to come through. So I'm going to have a 1 pile, a 2 pile, and a 3 pile. And so you can be thinking about what comes first to you, what number comes first to you, 1, 2, 3. This will just be a quick little card pull, see what wants to come through and see how you can be supporting yourself in this energy of the eclipse. So my 1s. Take the first 3 cards up. Okay. The Emperor, 6 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. So it feels like if you were thinking of the 1 as intuitively what came through to you, it's very important. Number 1, the encouragement here, the recommendation here is to get out of your head. You know, the Emperor is an energy of being able to be grounded in your truth, being able to be grounded in your power. And the 6 of Swords reversed is very much, you know, it feels like you're getting ready to leave something. It feels like you're getting ready to step away from something. It feels like maybe you're about to go on a journey, or maybe you're ready to step away and step out of what was. And also very important, you know, the 5 of Pentacles, what's coming through here is contemplation, is really sitting with and you know, noticing where you're in your head and where you need to come into your heart, where you're in your head ruminating, worrying, doubting, in fear, and where you need to come into your heart. And that your answers and your clarity are going to come from a place that is rooted in truth, in your power, in your heart. Okay, so just being really aware of it. Feels like this eclipse portal, this 2-week window, is going to bring up a lot of pieces for you around walking away from something, around taking a new journey, around being able to leave what was and grieve this last chapter, and not letting your mind keep you stuck, not letting yourself stay in the rumination and the thoughts and the doubts and the fears, because that's what the ego does best. When we don't feel safe, we will stay up here trying to control, trying to manipulate the outcome, trying to figure out all of the negatives or all of the things that could go bad, that could go wrong. And can you drop into your Emperor energy? Can you drop into your deep trust and power within yourself, that you know the answers and they are here, not here? Okay, 1s. So that was for my 1s. Let me know how that resonates if you picked 1. Now my 2s. Let's see what's going to come through for my pile 2s. Feels like there might be something lighter here that wants to come through, like maybe even some feminine energy. Okay, 2s. Okay, so it feels really important here. I mean, number 1, the Page of Pentacles is coming up reversed. And whenever I think of the Page of Pentacles, I think about allowing yourself to enjoy life a little bit more, allowing yourself to enjoy the richer things in life, allowing, not even richer, but what I mean is like the soul piece is allowing yourself to live your life, allowing yourself to deepen into greater joy, greater fulfillment in your life. And it feels like you're really holding yourself back. So you might notice in this eclipse portal that you're holding yourself back due to maybe feeling guilty or feeling bad. So looking at relationship patterns that might be showing up where you don't do something because you feel bad, or you don't do something because it feels like it's not the right thing to do, or that's not what people expect of you, or you're holding yourself back based off other people's expectations. And you're very much in your head, King of Swords as well, but you're trying to, like, it's not the same as what we were talking about in the last one. Like, what I'm feeling into this is you're trying to just plan things too much in that masculine energy. You're trying to live your life in a way where you feel like it's all tickety boo. Like everything is set up in a certain way, and it allows you to feel a false sense of control and a false sense of safety based off of what you think you're supposed to be doing and who you think you're supposed to be. It feels like this eclipse portal is really going to show you the ways in which you're not following your heart, you're not listening to your soul, and you're living your life in a way based off of other people's expectations. And that's why you feel almost stuck in certain pieces. The number 5 coming up here, like you're in the middle of a piece of a journey here where who you were is not who you're becoming. And there are some different actions you're going to need to take, different decisions you're going to need to make in order to step into more of what your soul wants you to be doing. That feels fun. Okay. My last card pull here, my group 3. Let's see what wants to come through for you. Okay. Group 3. Pull a few cards here for you. Ooh, baby. Yep. There's stuff here around romance for sure. You're being asked to walk away and allow yourself to take the trust fall. The Fool card, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. The Fool represents the beginning of a journey, my friend. And it feels like this eclipse portal is going to be showing you what you're ready to let go of, what you're ready to invite in, what you're ready to allow in. But in order to do that, you need to allow yourself to take the trust fall. You need to allow yourself to step off the cliff. You need to allow yourself to start a new part of your journey and walk away from, shed, release, let go of what is no longer in alignment for you. And this could be a relationship, but it could also be a way of being, a way of seeing yourself, a belief that you have around relationships. Definitely relationship theme here, but it feels like it might not just be like walking away from a relationship. It feels like it could be walking away from a way of how you saw yourself to be, or how you thought relationships were supposed to be, or how you thought you were supposed to be experiencing relationships. You're ready to walk away. You're ready to start a new path, a new journey. And there is some beautiful abundance that's coming down the pipeline for you. But in order for you to experience that, you have to be willing to trust yourself. You have to be willing to take the risk. You have to be willing to open your heart in a new way, and not even just to someone else, but opening your heart. Oh, this feels so juicy. Opening your heart to life. Opening your heart to life, to connection, to joy, to love in a new way. And again, not just with relationship, not just with a romantic relationship, but, you know, I'm being brought to the roses, the bouquet of roses, like letting yourself, opening yourself up to the richness of life. Are you ready to step into that? Are you ready to take the leap? Juicy, so juicy. Okay, my friends, let me know what resonated for you. Let me know what card you picked, how it resonated. Let me know if you liked the pick a card. I thought that was a fun thing to do this time around. Let me know how you're feeling in this eclipse energy. And as always, if you need deeper support, I am always here for you. I can help you out with a reading or the deep dive soul coaching, or even just message me. Let me know how you're doing. I love a good convo. And as always, I will see you next week.